Number five is a big one for any US person. That's because the new changes by the government last year. The child tax rate has gone up from $2,000 to, for some people, $3,600 max. So that's per child. That's a substantial increase. And then they made all refundable, which means you can take that as a money back, even if you don't owe any money or if you owe money. It is good for people living in the US.
Yeah.
So if a person lives in the US, if they have two kids, if they're less than 5 years old, and if they qualify for the income test, then they could get about $7,200 of refundable child tax credit. The IRS also gave an option to take these payments as advance, the 50% of their money as advance throughout the year in 2021. That's excellent for people who are living in the US, but may not be the best for expats who are living overseas, because one of the requirements to get this credit is any US person should have lived in the US for at least 6 months. So 6 months is the mark. So you have to look at two things here. One is whether or not you live in the US for 6 months, or if you've moved part year through the year, you also have to see how many days you qualify for it as well. Also, the main thing is if you have applied for the payments, the prepayments throughout the year, and if you're an expat, there is a high chance that you may have to return the money.
Yeah, I don't think the IRS did a particularly good job, did they? When they brought out this extra child tax credit refund, it was very unclear in the beginning who was eligible and who wasn't. But I think it's quite clear now that you've got to be in the US for at least 6 months throughout 2021. So because, probably 99% of the people listening to this are Americans living outside of America, they just have the regular standard child tax credit refund. Is that right?
That is true. So it's still the same as last year, which is $2,000.
And the refundable portion of that is still maxed out at $1,400?
Correct. The $1,400 is the maximum.
Okay, so we've got $1,400 per eligible child. And the same rules apply that applied last year. So not the new rules apply that apply to those living in America for 6 months. So we're still on basically our old plan, which is the one we had last year. So they've got to be under 17 years old by the end of December 31, 2021. I think the big thing what a lot of people don't realize is you can actually still earn a lot of money either as a single person or married filing jointly and still get this refund. It's around $200,000 income per person that you can earn and still get this refund in full. You can earn a lot of money and still get it, right?
Exactly. So for married filing jointly, it's about $400,000. That's a substantial amount. So even if somebody makes about $400,000 and then if they have two kids, can still get the child tax credit. It's a big amount.
So child tax credits are pretty much the same for the far majority of our client base because they are all living outside the United States. Correct. Number 6, I think you've got something to tell us, haven't you, about student loan relief?
Yeah, the student loan relief, it's good news for all people who had student loans from their university time. And then if they've had some of the debt or part of the debt was, if they had relief from the debt or if their debt was reduced or let's say canceled, then in the past, if you had any debt relief, it was taxed on your income tax return as debt relief. But starting 2021, it will no longer be taxed. Okay. That means anybody doesn't have to report the debt relief until 2025. So it's probably a right time. Again, if they had to apply, they can apply and get this out. So they don't have to pay additional taxes.
Terrific. So there's some good relief there for people with student loans.